All right, we're going to start this dinosaur talk um, with a little bit about me, Mr. Woger, and I've been really involved with dinosaurs and geology for about 35 years now. I started off in at UWM doing my geology degree, and then at the end, I got into dinosaurs, and I continued working with museums throughout. So back in the 80s, with just when this, if you ever been to the Milwaukee Public Museum, you know there's the diorama with the the T Rex eating the Triceratops. That was just new at that time. Now it's kind of old, but we worked on that, and I worked at the museum for a little bit with Dr. Peter Sheehan, and through a program with at UWM. And I got to go out and do a lot of dinosaur digs with them. And this was a time when when the big asteroid or meteor came down, theory was just starting. They just were talking about it. Where these guys, the Alvarez brother, son and father, came up with that theory of a huge asteroid coming up and that blocked out, put a bunch of dust and particles into the air, blocked out the sun, killed the plants, and you know, was killed all the dinosaurs. And this little layer right here, where is the Cretaceous Paleogene boundary. We used to call it the KT boundary. Now it's called the KPG boundary, and this is right where the asteroid hit. And they found that there's a rare element on it's not common on Earth, but it is in meteors and asteroids. Iridium, and right at that layer, there's a very big concentration. So that's where that theory came about. And if you go to a museum, you'll see a big chunk of that we got out in the 80s. And if not, if the dinosaurs would have came uh, didn't die off, that might have stopped the mammals from rising. At that time, mammals were really weird looking. They kind of look like rats, and like this guy almost looks like a weird um, beaver slash like raccoon or something like that. So they were not all that big, and they were digging, and mammals were digging into the ground and stuff like that. And they also now think that volcanoes might have killed the dinosaurs in addition to that meteor. So it's like a combo 1-2 hit that bunch of volcanoes were going off and just making the environment not all that nice to live in. This right here is where they found that asteroid hit, huge asteroid, right off in the Gulf of Mexico. Again, this is the United States, like the big seaway through here. These were all the volcanoes called the Deccan eruptions. So we had a lot of weird stuff going on in geology. And what's weird too is dinosaurs are not extinct. Birds are relatives of dinosaurs. They now group them into non-avian. Those are the not flying ones, and those are gone. But then we have the avian, the flying dinosaurs that are relatives to it. So it's kind of weird when you look outside and see a bird, you see a dinosaur relative. Most of my work was into Montana and North Dakota. I've started off in Marmarth. We went to Makoshika and Brown Glendive, and way up here, all around the border of Montana and Canada for probably the last 4 or 5 years. And worked with a lot of museums, a lot of scientists like Dr. Fostowski, who wrote a lot of books on dinosaurs, a lot of female paleontologists who wrote some books for kids, Diane Gabrielle, and Kirk Johnson, the director of the Smithsonian, and even this guy, Jack Horner, who I did not know was going to go into helping Jurassic Park. That's what Jurassic Park was based off of, because Jurassic Park wasn't even out yet. And I've been doing like digs in 2017 with the Burke Museum, where we found a T-Rex called the Tough Love T-Rex. And a lot of teachers got to go out there and practice jacketing and digging out dinosaurs. And here's the skull being prepped. And got, even some local farmers and ranchers have teamed up with us and given me some samples to that you guys could start with. And that's kind of what this unit's going to be all about. Talking a little bit about dinosaurs, what you're going to find at that time when they're just about when the big asteroid came down, and then you're going to sort some. And just recently, I've been working with these guys, Denver and Liz Fowler, who are in the Badlands Dinosaur Museum in North Dakota. We found a lot of Tyrannosaurus with those guys.